This is Hope Channel Zambia, media that changes lives. Thank you so much for joining us on our main news bulletin. Here are stories making headlines. Government cancels Defense Force Day, celebrations to honor late President Lungu. Lungu family reiterates late President's wish to exclude HH from the funeral rites. EFZ urges government and Lungu family to resolve send off peacefully. Mwansabombwe officials monitor progress of 2025 CDF projects. Zikta summons Airtel over 24-hour network outage. This and more stories coming up shortly.
Get ready to receive a faithful companion in a book titled The Vessel of Hope. This biblical book is an associate for inmates that will offer them a message of healing, purpose, and restoration. It sparks a light that shines even in the darkest places. The Vessel of Hope can be purchased and distributed by NGOs, churches, individuals, and organizations interested in social rehabilitation and prisoners' well-being. Order your copy today at 100 kwacha for a single copy and 700 kwacha for a set of 10 copies. Get in touch with our distributor, Deni Chileka, on 0977 473815 or 0966 473815. Remember, your purchase of the Vessel of Hope can be an inmate's turning point. Get ready.
Thank you so much for joining us with the details. My name is Mweni Muyanga and George Kalimokwa is our sign language caster. Now, the Zambian government has cancelled this year's Defense Force Day celebrations in honor of late former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Defense Minister Ambrose Lufuma made the announcement during a media briefing ahead of the 49th anniversary of the Zambia National Defense Force Day, saying the occasion comes during a period of national mourning. Mr. Lufuma noted that while Defense Force Day remains a key milestone in the country's military history, it is important to mourn the late president with dignity and peace. Marked every year on June 13th, Defense Force Day commemorates the unification of the Zambia Army, Air Force and National Service into one national defense structure, established in 1976 by founding President Kenneth Kaunda. Though this year's commemorative activities have been called off, the Defense Minister reaffirmed the military's continued commitment to peace and unity and national development. He also paid tribute to the founding commanders and urged the Defense Force to remain loyal, professional and non-partisan, while continuing to play a critical role in Zambia's socio-economic progress.
This year's Defense Force Day falls at a time when as a country, we are mourning the loss of our 6th President and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Force, His Excellency Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, and as such, commemorative activities will not take place. Let us mourn him in dignity and peace and honor his contribution to the development of our nation. Countrymen and women, the unification of the three services was unique in that General Chinkuli became the first indigenous Zambian commander to lead a unified command. Government will continue to support the Defense Force in various ways. Further, I urge the Defense Force to continue being loyal, supporting the government of the day, and remaining non-partisan.
Now, the United Party for National Development, UPND Presidential Media Director Frank Walia has appealed for national healing, warning that Zambia is drowning in bitterness and division following the death of former President Edgar Lungu. Speaking to journalists in Lusaka today, Mr. Walia said the country is gripped by too much hatred, urging Zambians to embrace reconciliation before the nation loses its sense of unity. He called on citizens to respect the mourning period, adding that empathy should not be used as an excuse for inciting confusion or disrupting funeral proceedings. Mr. Bwalia also stressed the importance of allowing people to grieve in peace, warning that the late president's legacy risks being distorted by political interference. He further accused some individuals within the Patriotic Front and the opposition of using Lungu's death to undermine President Hakainde Hichilema's a move he described as both disrespectful and dangerous. Mr. Bwalia appealed to late president's family and the PF to heed the counsel of traditional and religious leaders and to work towards a dignified and unified farewell for the late president.
The family of President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, senior members of the Patriotic Front, to do the right thing so that President Lungu's mortal remains can be brought back to Zambia, the country he loved, the country that he led as president, the highest office in the land for 7 years, the country where you find people that truly love him, people that worked with him, the family where, the country where his family reside. We urge members of the family of President Lungu to heed the message of many traditional and religious leaders who are echoing the same message. The latest, as you all know, the Catholic Archbishop of Kasama, who happens to be the president of the Zambia Conference of Catholic Bishops, Archbishop Ignatius Chama, who in a passionate sermon yesterday delivered on Lutanda Radio in Kasama, pleaded with the nation, pleaded with the family.
Tension between the Lungu family and the government has continued over the handling of funeral arrangements for the late 6th Republican President Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Family spokesperson Makebi Zulu says the family is deeply disturbed by what it describes as the government's attempt to take over the conveyance and mourning process, contrary to the late president's final wish. In a statement issued today, Zulu revealed that Dr. Lungu had expressed a clear desire for his remains to be handled privately by the family without government involvement, and specifically requested that President Hakainde Hichilema not be present near his body, a request the family insists must be respected. Zulu explained that despite initial agreements made in meetings with 2 government delegates, including one led by Minister of Foreign Affairs Mulambo Haimbe and another by former Vice President Inoki Kavindele, government representatives later changed positions, leaving the family frustrated and sidelined. He stressed that the family retains the right to determine how the late president should be mourned, warning that matters of conscience should not be sacrificed for political convenience. The family, he said, remains committed to ensuring Dr. Lungu is mourned with dignity by both the nation and international community in accordance with his wishes.
On Thursday, 5th June 2025, the 6th Republican President, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, died here in South Africa. Following his death, the family has had several engagements with the government of the Republic of Zambia with 2 delegations. The first was led by Mr. Mulambo Haimbe, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and the second by Mr. Enoch Kavindele, a former president who was deputized by Mr. Leslie Mbula, a former secretary to the cabinet. In the company of the said two was and is Mr. Patrick Kangwa, the current secretary to the cabinet. At the said meetings, it was made known that the family had already put in place all logistics to address the wishes of the deceased that his mortal remains be conveyed by the family privately and not the government of the Republic of Zambia, and that President Hakainde Hichilema should not be anywhere near the body of President Edgar Chagwa Lungu for reasons that have since become common cause. The family is disturbed by the desire of the government of the Republic of Zambia to convey the mortal remains of the sixth Republican president in ways that suggest that they have no say, that is the family, that the family has no say in the manner the same will be conveyed and how they desire that he be mourned. In the conveyance of the remains, it is the desire of the family that the conscience of the deceased should not be betrayed and that the death of the sixth Republican president does not repose any superior rights to the government that exceed those of the family. In the said meetings, the government changed positions on proposals that they earlier said were agreeable after returning from purported consultations. The family finds it difficult to continue engaging with the government, which has preset conditions that suggest that the family has no say in the fundamental issues relating to the manner the deceased is to be mourned and the conveyance of his remains. Matters of conscience for both the deceased and the family should not be sacrificed at the altar of convenience by the government.
The Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia EFZ has urged both the government and the family of the late 60th Republican President Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu to urgently resolve their differences over the repatriation of his remains. EFZ Executive Director Bishop Andrew Mwenda says the church is deeply concerned about the standoff and is calling for calm and dialogue that promotes unity during this period of national mourning. Bishop Mwenda acknowledged that while the family is traditionally the legal custodian of the deceased and is responsible for cultural rights, the state also has a legitimate role to play in honoring a former head of state. He emphasized that although there is no constitutional provision giving the government control over funeral arrangements, the state must be allowed to offer symbolic military honors in recognition of the late president's service to the nation. EFZ says citizens must be given the opportunity to collectively mourn a leader they entrusted with the presidency for 7 years. Bishop Mwenda further appealed to both the government and the Lungu family to prioritize the memory and legacy of the late president by fostering peace and national unity. He said both parties carry the responsibility to ensure the nation remains united during the solemn moment. EFZ has since pledged continued prayers and support for national reconciliation. This is contained in a statement issued to Hope News. In the wake of growing national tension following the passing of former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, a concerned Zambian citizen, Inoki Ntoka, is calling for urgent unity and reconciliation. Ntoka has voiced concerns over the divisions that have surfaced during what should be a solemn period of mourning, warning that the country's long-cherished peace and harmony are at risk. In a statement issued to Hope News, Mr. Ntoka has called on statesmen, freedom fighters and the clergy to rise above political and social differences to steer the nation towards healing and collective reflection. Mr. Ntoka says the mourning period should not become a battleground for discord, but a turning point to reaffirm Zambia's shared identity and purpose. He has urged Zambians to reflect on the legacy of peace and oneness that the country has preserved over the last 60 years and to reject the growing discord seen in the wake of the death of former President Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Quoting from his statement, Ntoka says, "Let this be a wake-up call. Let us reason together, let us reconcile, and let us reaffirm our commitment to a united Zambia." And on that note, we take a short set of commercials. We'll be right back.
There is nothing quite like the thrill of catching your own fish. And at Papino Investments, we bring that experience to you. Papino Investments, the home of live fish, has everything you need to make your meals unforgettable.
It has a different taste, and that is why I enjoy coming to this place.
From live fish that you can catch for yourself to smoked fish, dressed chickens, and beef, we have a wide range of products that will satisfy your shopping needs. And if you're looking for something else, we have a wide range of groceries to choose from, including Hope Channel decorders. At Papino Investments, payment is easy. You can pay with cash or use our mobile money services. Visit us today at Robert's Fish and Veggies Building, Challenge Market, Lusaka, or call us at 0955 108708 or 0976 543822 or 0965 691909. Papino Investments, the home of live fish.
It's time for the biggest club football showdown this June on Top Star for just 210 kwacha on Antenna Classic OD Smart. Kick off the FIFA Club World Cup on Sunday, 15th June with European giants Bayern Munich facing Auckland City at 18 hours and Paris Saint-Germain versus Atletico Madrid at 21 hours. Conclude match day 1 on Wednesday, 18th June when Manchester City battles Wydad Casablanca at 18 hours and Real Madrid versus Saudi Arabia's Al Hilal at 21 hours. Later, catch match day 2 action as Messi leads Inter Miami against FC Porto on Thursday, 19th June at 21 hours. And African giants Sundowns versus Dortmund on Saturday, 21st June at 18 hours. Quickly, get your Top Star decoder now and catch every goal from the group stage to the final, all live on World Football. Top Star, enjoy digital life.
Thank you for still staying with us. Now, the rest of the news. The Drug Enforcement Commission has dismissed as false and misleading claims that it summoned or interrogated late former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu's son, Daliso Lungu. In a video statement issued today, the Commission expressed disappointment over remarks made by former Cabinet Minister Professor Nkandu Luo, who alleged that Mr. Lungu had been questioned by DEC officers on Wednesday, June 11th. DEC clarified that Mr. Daliso Lungu has neither been summoned nor interviewed and described the claims as malicious, contemptuous, and misleading to the public. The Commission also moved to set the record straight on widely circulated allegations regarding travel restrictions. It stated that the passports belonging to Daliso Lungu, Chieso Lungu, Tasila Lungu, and the former First Lady Esther Lungu were not seized as part of any bond conditions. The Commission has urged the public to disregard the false information and cautioned against spreading unverified claims that may mislead the nation.
The Drug Enforcement Commission is saddened by the false claims circulating through various media platforms in which Nkandu Luo has alleged that the Commission on Wednesday, 11th June 2025 did summon and interrogate Mr. Daliso Lungu, son to the late 60th President of the Republic of Zambia, His Excellency Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Members of the public may wish to note that Mr. Daliso Lungu has not been summoned or interviewed by the Commission in the period mentioned by Nkandu Luo. The Commission therefore wishes to dispel Nkandu Luo's claims as they are contemptuous, malicious, and misleading to the nation. On the other hand, contrary to information peddled by some unscrupulous people, we wish to clarify that passports for Daliso Lungu, Chieso Lungu, Tasila Lungu, and the former First Lady Esther Lungu were never seized as a bond condition. The Commission has since had occasion to interact with Daliso Lungu's lawyer, who has categorically distanced himself from Nkandu Luo's claims. The Drug Enforcement Commission is saddened by the false claims circulating through various media platforms in which Nkanduluwo has alleged that the Commission on Wednesday 11th June 2025 did summon and interrogate Mr. Daliso Lungu, son to the late 60th President of the Republic of Zambia, His Excellency Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Members of the public may wish to note that Mr. Daliso Lungu has not been summoned or interviewed by the Commission in the period mentioned by Nkanduluwo. The Commission therefore wishes to dispel Nkanduluwo's claims as they are contemptuous, malicious and misleading to the nation. On the other hand, contrary to information peddled by some unscrupulous people, we wish to clarify that passports for Daliso Lungu, Chieso Lungu, Tasila Lungu and the former First Lady Esther Lungu were never seized as a bond condition. The Commission has since had occasion to interact with Daliso Lungu's lawyer, who has categorically distanced himself from Nkanduluwo's claims.
A high-level delegation led by Mwansabombwe District Commissioner Ivan Pasa has conducted a joint monitoring exercise of ongoing 2025 Constituency Development Fund CDF projects across 6 wards. The inspection covered various infrastructure initiatives including water reticulation systems, maternity annexes, market shelters and classroom blocks. The delegation included Council Chairperson Terio Chungu, Area Member of Parliament Kabaso Kampambi and Council Secretary Felix Mwila. Speaking during the tour, Mr. Mpasa reaffirmed government's commitment to people-centered development, highlighting the importance of transparency and accountability in service delivery. Council Chairperson Chungu commended strong collaboration between elected leaders, local authorities and community members, noting it as a key driver of successful project implementations. Meanwhile, Area MP Kampambi called for heightened vigilance in project supervision, urging contractors to adhere to timely and maintaining high construction standards. The delegation expressed satisfaction with the general progress of the projects, but emphasized the need for consistent quality and timely completion. This is contained in a statement issued to Hope News by Acting Public Relations Officer for Mwansabombwe Town Council, Josephine Kabaso. Zicta has summoned Airtel Zambia to account for a major network failure that left thousands of customers in Lusaka and central provinces without internet access for nearly 24 hours. Zambia Information and Communication Technology Authority Zicta says it is deeply concerned over the outage, which sparked widespread frustration among users, many of whom were unable to access essential data services from yesterday into today. In a strongly worded statement, the regulator confirmed it has demanded a detailed report from Airtel outlining the cause of the disruption and measures being put in place to prevent future occurrences. Zicta also warned that Airtel could face sanctions, including the possibility of compensating affected customers with outage credits as outlined in the Consumer Protection and Quality Service Guidelines. The authority emphasized that all service providers are obliged to maintain consistent service and communicate promptly during disruptions, adding that it will continue to monitor compliance to ensure Zambians have access to reliable and high-quality ICT. Well, that story closes our bulletin, but before we go, here are stories that made headlines. Government cancels Defense Force Day celebrations to honor late President Lungu. Lungu family reiterates late President's wish to exclude HH from funeral rites. EFZ urges government and Lungu family to resolve standoff peacefully. Mwansabombwe officials monitor progress of 2025 CDF projects. Zicta summons Airtel over 24-hour network outage. My name is Mwene Myanga, and George Kalimukwa, our sign language caster, on behalf of the entire production team and crew. Stay tuned.